and you are tuned into Beltway Radio and Beyond, which can mean one and only thing. This is Chip Chat. Welcome to Chip Chat. I'm Chip. Who are you, Tez?
You just told him, buddy.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. We are almost there.
Almost.
Worst day of the week. Friday.
I told, yeah, right. Man, these Fridays after the show.
Look, listeners,
it's tough. I try not to schedule a lot of meetings.
Yeah, it can't.
I love you too, buddy. Thank you.
Yo.
That's
listeners, I love you, but the Fridays really are difficult. This one, I have the opposite. It's just meeting. It looks like a Monday, and I usually don't do this. But
we sacrifice for you, dear listener.
For you.
That's right.
So we're getting out of here on time tonight, Bryan.
I told Bryan today before we came on the air that I just finished listening to last week's show.
Wow.
That's how long it took me to get through it.
I just started preparing for today's.
So we're even. I will say, though, the last 15 minutes of last week's show was dynamite radio. That was some of the best stuff we've done.
God,
it was like dad jokes about that guy who tried to ban porn.
Oh, my, yeah.
Hardister. John Hardister.
Oh, my
what
God.
A name.
Now it's, yeah, because when I got home, I was called a child.
Oh, because of the jokes?
I was just scared because it was. Now, as I recall the jokes,
I would consider that a badge of honor.
Those we were going back. The bell just kept ringing.
Yeah, we kept hitting it.
Yeah. Oh God.
All right.
Good times.
So tonight we do. This is a special edition.
Another special edition
of Chip Chat. There's a significant part of our origin story going to join us.
Yes.
Today, Drew Dave is going to be here.
Yes, he is going to be here.
We hope.
Yeah, we have.
He's like a phantom.
Nah, he's all like.
He's like
he'll be here.
You know, he's always around.
Yes.
Somewhere, but
either
and his influence is felt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. In person or in sound, he is always around.
Yes.
But. He had an outsized impact on this show. I don't know how much he knows about that, so that's the only things I want to ask him about.
Okay.
And then I'll let you ask him all of the important things.
I have tons of questions.
I'm sure. Also, the Republicans finally learned how to count votes. About half of the world voted in the last 2 weeks, really.
Yes.
That's almost of the people who can vote. We're going to have a special animal segment. Not that the animals are special, but just...
Yeah.
We don't usually have animal segments.
Sometimes.
Well, these animals are special. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Wait, we're back.
There's a dead-ass birds!
Yeah, we're back.
Tez Talk
I went back to my roots.
Yeah. I had to go back and see that you added that to the script. I wasn't even sure. I was like, holy shit, he participated. I was shocked. Also, shout out to John Stewart. We did a good job keeping the seat warm for you for the last 9 years. So can you make sure you can say... Everybody I know has got all of our hope pinned to this guy. They're like, Stewart's back. He's going to save everything. And I'm like, guys, I channeled you for a minute. I was like, temper the expectation.
And why do we... I think over the last, 20 years, he is, in his study show and stat show, he is the most trusted newsman.
He was.
I think still.
I think a lot of people trust him, and we all want to. And he slid right back into that seat like nothing happened.
I'm with that. I do think it's still tricky when one person invokes that type of feeling. And now it almost gets back to even kind of the mess we got into 2016. Is like, are we in a place where we're looking for a one-person savior? And maybe I'm.
I think that's. I think you're looking too much into this.
But I don't know, because when you have that, all right, it should be oh, this is dope. This is someone who can convey information. But he's gonna save the republic by conveying information is not I don't know. I feel a little weird.
I think that's just sort of internet, microwave culture where we just want something quick and easy and fast. But we're shorthanding it. When people say Stewart, they don't mean just him. They mean the whole idea that when people would talk about, what's her name? Heather Cox Richard?
Heather Cox Richardson.
Yeah. Okay. So she writes stuff and people would post that stuff like it was this is, and because we just lack as a group the mental capacity to distill our thoughts, we look to these thought leaders to be the ones to do it for us. And you're right. We do got to watch out. Don't get a little too far down that.
Because then you're kind of like, both sides are kind of like, we need someone to say. And when groups of individuals, start looking for like that one savior, I think that's where you get into this whole
you can get
shit.
you can fall victim, or you can be terribly disappointed.
Oh God, and
as I was,
and that could be worse because
that hurt.
Apathy and I don't know.
Fortunately, I recovered.
You did. You recovered.
I haven't seen Dave's new special though. But I do want to watch it. I want to let him back into my heart.
I feel like
he's a DC kid. I want to forgive him. Literally, I can't. I don't want to not do that.
Anything. I think
there's room for disagreement within the group.
Yeah, it's like all right, like
as long as you want democracy, I'm with you.
Yeah.
John Boehner, come on the show. Hey, loves
Simpler
democracy.
Time.
Loves democracy.
Simpler fucking time.
All right. So also there was a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I called that defensive. We didn't get 17-14, but it felt like 17.
Yeah, but you said it was going to be a bad game, and it went to overtime. That's an even better game. I just finished listening to it.
Again, we might feel like it was a better game. I'm pretty sure swaths of people in America were hoping for like 45 to 35.
I was glued to it.
I thought it was amazing.
It was exciting.
That game was some shit.
See? There you go.
Bryan mad because Lamar got to watch it from his couch.
You knew Jordan was
So Lamar never watched it.
Okay.
That's not true. He was with me.
He literally said, he texted out, I'm not watching this.
Yeah, I'm telling you that's objectively untrue. He came over to the house. We had chicken, and I grilled a bunch of stuff. We grilled some potatoes on the grill. It was good. And turns out he's a big fan of the tahini. It's good stuff, right? He was like, put some more on the chicken. I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea, Lamar. Thanks for coming over. And he said, don't tell Bryan about this.
Look.
But I'm telling you anyway because I respect you, Bryan.
That was a good Super Bowl.
That was some shit.
It was a really good Super Bowl.
That was a shitty Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
See, I told you. This
Sour grapes.
He speaks for a lot of people.
All of them wear purple.
Yes,
and
all
live within the 695 beltway.
I don't care if it went overtime, double overtime, whatever. That was a shitty game. I'm sorry. It was. I was on here.
Do you not like defense?
You don't
What
like
defense?
What defense?
There was absolutely nothing happening that game except for maybe that clothesline.
If the Niners hadn't made like 3 critical mistakes,
Right.
they would have won that game. You can't make mistakes against Kansas City. You just can't. You have
Jordan
to play.
is out there.
Yeah,
He's gonna
you
win.
gotta be perfect.
Yeah.
No, here is the biggest mistake. The biggest mistake is that he didn't run out the clock. I don't know where did he get this idea they didn't know the new postseason rules.
Here's the reason why they do the rules. Because that referee at the start
Bill
of it,
Vinovich told them he explained
very
it
detailed.
very clear.
It's a new game.
He said it's a new game. Even Tony Romo was like, it's a new game.
Everybody, it's a new game.
You know, if Tony Romo and I are agreeing on stuff, that is above board.
Right.
That's really good.
So if they end up
don't-
tied, it would just continue on. So, but
Quiet. Don't give him the credit. Yeah, Tony Romo's great on television.
Yeah.
He is good. He's so good at it.
It's crazy. I was like,
I don't like it.
Yo,
I
that's
don't
a
like
tough-
that I like this.
it's a tough one there.
But I don't like it. Stop it. Stop doing this, Tony.
Quiet 300 yards from Patrick Mahomes.
nope, not feeling it.
Quiet 67.
Quiet.
rushing
That's what it
yards.
is. It was quiet. It was quiet. This was a quiet game. I saw the most stats I
You know
I
who
got
it
out of
wasn't
this.
quiet for? Andy Reid, because Travis Kelce was yelling in his ear.
You're right.
I mean, y'all ain't gonna like this one, but I mean, to be honest, like what people really wanted was a shootout, and as we saw happening at the parade, what could be more American than the shed? You know, should have been a shootout.
Yeah.
Because what's more American than a fucking mass shooting at the championship parade? Like crazy, just insane.
We'll get to all of that. This is the intro.
Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean. Look, we keep it within 10 minutes. We're good. We're good. Look at it within 10 minutes.
We got a bunch of stuff. It says right here. It's a
Yeah,
bunch
we're trying to get home early.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
trying
sorry.
to get home.
And I just dropped a dead fish
As long
like
as
that,
we
right?
finish
into the
by
freaking-
1 o'clock, it'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Everything
all right.
will be fine. Everything. Thoughts and prayers.
Everything. Thoughts and prayers. All right, do you have...
ludicrous place we live in.
No. Little John place we live in.
Little John place.
Yeah, thank you.
Go.
Okay. Do you have a word? I've got a word. I'm ready.
You're ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I got a word.
All right. You ready? Let's see if it works. Sit back, grab some
floats.
It's roller skate time. You're listening to the best show, the only show, Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Sweeps.
Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's popping? I can't believe
Tez is on the phone on the radio because this is how radio works these days.
Second floor, you inside?
We're communicating with our guest as we speak.
Floor, right up to the top.
He'll hear us. It doesn't matter what floor he's on.
Steps. Don't take the elevator.
Don't take the elevator in our building.
It'll work, but I don't know.
I don't know if it will.
Yes, it does. People come up. I don't trust the elevator. So
I don't take it either.
But if you're on it, you.
So while he gets here, we're gonna do the next segment. This is called Rundown Democracy Edition. This is where I tell you about some voting that's going on in the news.
Voting.
Yeah. If we were professionals, it would sound something like this.
That's how you feel. I gotta respect it.
What? Wait, play that again?
I think I heard it first. He said, what?
That's how you feel. I gotta respect it.
You feel you gotta respect it. That is what I heard the first time. Okay, good. Just so I can still decipher that.
Okay.
From Beltway Radio and beyond in Washington, D.C., I'm J. Scott Smith. And this is the part of the hour where I tell you some stuff that's going on in the news.
He'll get in. He can hear us. All right. Thanks, Jay. Shout out to the good folks in various parts of Michigan going through that snowstorm and everything. Hope you got your shovels. Of course they have their shovels.
Of course they have.
It's Michigan. Okay. This one. Dateline. Islamabad. Pakistan. So this election actually took place a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Which we did make mention of. And here's the things that people need to know. There is a guy called Imran Khan.
Big cricket player.
Huge. He was like the Michael Jordan of cricket plus Pele. Like he was that good. Okay? Everybody in the cricket world knew Imran Khan. He was amazing. I assume he played wicket or bowler or something. I don't know. What are those words in cricket?
To be honest, I don't know the friggin'.
He was a bowler. And I did know that. So anyway, he was great. And so then he ran for prime minister in Pakistan and he won. And he mostly won on a platform of, I'm great at cricket and everybody here is crazy about cricket and I won us a gold medal. Vote for me. And they're like, yeah.
A lot of places.
And it's a parliamentary system, so people voted for his party. His party is called the PTI, I think, which is very funny for Kornheiser.
That is hilarious.
And yeah, and the other guy's party that you got to know is the PLM. Everybody goes by acronyms over there because their actual party names are 16 years long. So anyway, I think it's PTI. So anyway, he won, And then he got in trouble. It's unclear if he actually got in trouble or not because Pakistan doesn't really have, like, rule of law.
Right.
And the army more or less runs everything. And when I say everything, I mean they have a cereal brand, okay?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They run everything. So eventually what happened was the army was like, hey, can we push you around, Imran Khan? And he was like, maybe not so much as you're used to, but some. And they were like, no, we want to push you around more. And they were like, no, we're not having that. So they threw him in jail.
Yeah. And
That's the setup to the election.
Right. People weren't too thrilled about that.
People were not thrilled. There were protests in the streets.
Cricket masters.
Yep. They were all, everybody was holding their bats and yelling, ah. All right. So then he's in jail.
Yeah.
They appointed a caretaker government, and they ended up with this prime minister whose name is Shahbaz Sharif. And that last name might sound a little familiar because his older brother, is former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. And he was in charge of Pakistan off and on for like the last 67 years. So basically, Sharif kind of ran the show. Nobody really liked him, but they, tolerated it, whatever. And then they were like, all right, it's time to have an election. Khan's in jail. He's like, well, I'm going to run. And they're like, no, we're banning your party.
Yeah.
So his slate of candidates ran as independents and won 92 seats.
Insane.
Which would be almost a majority. It's at least enough that they could get a coalition government and get him, as the PM. But no dice, right? The army's got their thumb on the scale to some extent. So with only 70 some odd votes, Sharif's party 79 seats, he ends up they're going to move to make him the prime minister. Probably. We don't even really know. I mean, like, as of last week, they thought that his brother was going to be back in charge again. I can't make heads or tails of this. People forget the size of these countries.
And even how they got to be what they are.
Yeah, but that they're voting and having... Now, this is nowhere near a free and fair election.
The military is still the...
They're running the show.
Yeah.
But all of this is kind of funny in their dysfunction until you remember that Pakistan's nuclear armed.
Yeah, and it's not.
And it's not funny. And there are people who have their voices being silenced, and also they are going to go to war and have a bunch of violence and all that kind of stuff.
And also, too, I mean, you need strong leadership in that country because of who its neighbors are. And the specific neighbor, obviously, is India.
Yes.
And
which currently has very strong leadership.
Look, he's
strong. Like, if you say anything, I'm going to
democracy in the world, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they say.
Well, coming hot on their heels is our next story, Indonesia.
All right. Another.
So here's the thing you need to know about Indonesia. It's a huge country. There are 200 million eligible voters in this country. Their turnout in this last election was like 85%. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We're lucky if we get to 60.
That's lucky.
60.
Yeah.
In the country that claims to have invented democracy. Yeah. It's okay, so 200 million people go out and vote, and they vote for this guy. I'll let you try to say his name.
The results show that Prabowo Subianto. Okay.
Yeah, Prabowo Subianto.
Prabowo.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So he was the former army chief.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Come on now.
Famously in the 90s during the dictatorship, disappeared several million people. Other people like him, though.
Of course they do.
He has the endorsement of the current president, whose name Joko Widodo. Shout out to the excellent names of people in Indonesia.
Yeah,
they're killing it on that. And so this guy's kind of a mixed bag, though, right? He's really into like certain environmental stuff. Like he's trying to increase biofuels. That's like one of his big deals, which that sounds great.
Sounds good.
He's also a coal baron. And he also wants to increase nickel production, and nickel production needs a lot of coal.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, we're going to build a lot of power plants, and we're going to feed them full of coal, but we're also going to do a lot of biofuel. And then they're like, well, where are you going to get the biofuel? And he's like, we're going to chop down forests and build palm oil plantations. And like, oh, no, not great. And what happened to all those people in East Timor? And he's like, shut up, don't worry about that, vote for me. So they did. And he won so far. I mean, it takes a long time to count 200 million votes, and they're doing it literally on paper, by hand.
I think this is the same. I was hearing a story about like how they transport these like votes between places. Because again, this is Indonesia is. I mean, it's the layout of
it's
it
an
is
archipelago
right.
nation. It's like 1 million islands. They speak 150 different
Insane.
languages in this country. And the communication infrastructure is in some places spotty at best. I mean, it's carrier pigeon, and
Yeah.
it's I'm not lying about that. You might get one plane a month that lands on your island or something like that. It's really, some of these places are incredibly remote. 38 provinces that they've got to deal with, 18,000 islands. And 6,000 of them are inhabited.
$18,000, it's not like a dressing.
We've got Italian, French, and Indonesian. What do you want on your salad?
Right.
I'll take the Indonesian.
Yeah, of course.
It's got the most islands.
Yeah, 18,000.
Italy's got like 7. Get the fuck out of here. France, what do they got? Sardinia?
Oh, God. That was funny.
They got those Polynesian ones.
Oh, God, yeah.
They love them.
They do. Yes, of course.
And they love Macron over there.
yeah,
he came and
It's
visited.
a kind of a
Yeah. He likes-
connection.
He likes the Polynesians.
Yeah, of course.
Speaking of islands,
Yes.
here's some real democracy for you. Do you know there's a place
Oh.
in the United States called Long Island?
Yes, I do.
Have you ever been there?
Many times.
Oh, yeah. Part of Long Island is near New York City,
Yes.
which is unfortunate for both groups.
I guess
People in New York City hate that they're physically on the same island as people from Long Island. And people from Long Island hate that they have to take the train to New York.
Nice railroad.
Yeah.
Freeport, Babylon. They got
Montauk.
A lot of different
The
data.
far end, yeah.
There's a
Don't
lot.
get off in Jamaica.
Yeah. There you go. You're getting
So
closer.
they tell you that, yeah.
You're getting closer at that point.
So
Yeah.
speaking of Jamaica, Jamaica's in Queens. Part of Queens is in this district. So you may remember there was this guy who liked to lie about things that were totally inconsequential, but he lied about them constantly anyway. His name is Matt Gaetz. I'm sorry.
No. Not that one.
Shit.
Not that one.
Chip Roy.
No, not that
Fuck.
one. No.
He had DeSantis.
No, closer.
Closer.
Warmer.
George Santos.
There you go. There you go.
Fired Congressman George Santos.
This guy.
This is his district.
Yeah.
Now he won this district by 8 points, but that's a big win.
It is a big one.
But it's not true because he wasn't who he said he was, and who knows what any of the people voted
maybe
for.
if it's still crazy that no one dug any of this up before he even. But
Local
anyways,
press.
Local press, not there.
So anyway, he gets expelled from the House, so they got to have a runoff, a new election. So there's 2 candidates. One is named Tom Swazi.
Swazi, yeah.
Yeah, Swazi. That's tough on the spelling. Yeah. Tom Swazi, who used to have this seat, by the way,
but he
before
wanted to be governor, right?
Well, it also
where's-
got redistricted a little bit, and so he was like, "I'm tired of this. This is hard. Congress sucks. These people don't listen." So, Tom Swazi ran against Mazi Philip, who is an Ethiopian
Yeah.
Jewish woman.
Yep, that is exactly it.
Okay, in a very Jewish district.
One of the more interesting plays I've seen in especially that was
It's a district that loves to value diversity and equality and immigrants and all this stuff. So the Republicans are like, oh yeah, we're gonna find a black Jewish woman to run a black Jewish immigrant woman to run in this district. That's gotta eclipse all the things that she's about to say. And then she was like, oh, and I love Donald Trump and I want to banish all immigrants and
She said,
burn
"I am
the-
a legal immigrant."
Yeah, and
she was dead on. She said,
and
I
it was like,
true. Okay, I hear you.
just go on.
Yo, they did their dueling press conferences.
It was so hackneyed. Like, she's a bad candidate, but the message that they're trying to deliver was terrible, and it was razor close.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Until this dumb border Ukraine deal pops up, and the Republicans are like, we want border security in exchange for aid for Ukraine, and the Democrats are like, cool, here you go, and they're like, no, and they voted it down. So in the last 2 weeks of the election, Swazi gets to jump up and go, hey, I supported that bipartisan border deal. I want to stop immigration from ruining New York City. And all the people who were like, I kind of want to stop that too.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, yo, that's our guy. Build the wall, vote Democrat.
Crazy play.
And it worked.
It did work.
He won by a landslide. He swung that district 16 points.
Yeah. On a tricky day, because I was in New York on that Tuesday.
On a snowstorm.
Very snowstorm, especially where they were at.
Yeah, it was
in
like
the
a
city,
foot of snow.
Where they were at and would have to go vote. It was like a foot of snow, and he still was able to pull this out.
And I was watching Kornacki kind of break this down, and the way that he was rocking the Nassau County side of that vote, he absolutely, like, gut punched the Republican efforts there. He swung that side of the district by 20-something points. It's crazy. 22 points, I think it was.
But now here's the play is that it's his messaging, because now people look at a lot of these races as kind of like almost, I guess, I mean, I don't want to say.
Trial balloons.
Yeah, trial
This is
balloons
the
to what we
question.
go into, like, the general election, but what's that play look like?
If the DNC is paying any attention, they've learned a couple of critical things here. Abortion matters.
Yeah.
This is your number one issue. Run as hard on that as you possibly can. Getting control of the border after the Republicans basically ceded that, run on that in every district that it helps you. Don't run on that in the brown districts, but run on that in the districts where it matters, because you can, because they gave that to us.
Yeah.
Okay? And 3, run on democracy. That works. It worked in 18, it worked in 22, and now it's worked in 24 in at least 2 races, because it worked in Pennsylvania too.
Yeah.
That's the other sub-story to this, right?
Yeah.
Swazi wins in Santos's old seat, and another special election in Pennsylvania, which Trump says won't be called Pennsylvania if he loses, apparently.
Of course.
Wild.
Only the original 13 about to get a name change. That's crazy.
Gonna call it New Pennsylvania. Nah, coming for you. We're going to name it Philabergia. I don't know what he thinks. Anyway, yeah, so the guy Prokofiev, something like that, I don't know. He wins there and maintains Democratic control of the House in Pennsylvania. So, like, you win. You're winning everywhere you can tie the other guys to Trump. And interestingly enough, Mazi Pilip was like, I love Trump more than anything on this planet. I think he's the greatest. And if more people would listen to him, this country would be better off. And then she lost. Trump said, if she had only endorsed me harder,
Of course.
she would have won.
Of course. Yeah.
She didn't cling to, I just want to be loved. That was one of the parts of his message in his fake tweet. Was like, I just want to be loved.
Of course. Like, what? Like, I don't know. We're in a fucking silly place at this point.
Yeah.
Do I have more thoughts on this?
Do you have more thoughts on democracy?
This is it was an interesting, I guess, election, I guess, that I'm trying to figure out what the play is long term. Because, like, right, you go into November, the House already has people who are quitting. You throw up this campaign here against a Democrat that seems very solid on, yo, I'm going to run down the middle, and you lose at the margins that you did. I don't know. it feels like everything feels like it should go one way, but obviously there could always be the
This campaign
the curveball that I
was
guess
your favorite thing of hustling backwards because they nominated somebody who was meant to trick voters and it didn't work.
right.
They had her publicly grab onto Trump as much as possible, and he didn't help at all. As a matter of fact, it probably hurt. They did everything they could to make this worse. And they got beat for it. I don't know if they're going to learn any lesson from it. God, I hope not, because they're trying to make Laura Trump the head of the RNC or whatever. Because, the Romney wasn't good enough. So, like, keep it up, guys. Matt Gaetz beat the DOJ stuff. They decided not to press charges, but House Ethics, they're going to get that 17-year-old to testify. And she's not 17 anymore. But she was when Matt Gaetz paid her for sex. Allegedly.
I was gonna say, bro, you better drop
Heavy allegedly.
Allegedly on that one. I'll let you.
We have the Venmo receipts.
Hey,
so,
I'll
that he posted publicly on Venmo.
I'll let you touch that with a 100-foot pole.
100 foot? No. I'm not getting that close to Matt Gaetz. Do you know where those poles have been?
Oh, God. Anyways, moving on.
Moving on, it's time for a break.
It is time for a break.
We got to go get Swazi with it.
What?
I love this name, Swazi.
Swazi,
Yeah, I'm feeling a little Swazi.
A little Swazi.
Yeah, if you have a couple more beers, you get kind of
super Swazi.
Yeah, right. I feel like he really should have a clothing line or something.
Swazi? No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like, what is that? I'm wearing Swazi.
I'm wearing Swazi.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
I guess I could see that you're wearing Swazi.
No?
Swazi's
All right.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe cologne.
Yeah, there you go.
Swazi. Just like that.
What does it smell like? Long
Corruption.
Island. Yeah. Union bosses and pizza.
There you go. Yuck. That's super fucking yuck.
Yuck.
That's just yuck.
Don't yuck the Swazi.
Yo, but I'm still pro-union, but yuck
Yeah.
that, Pizza and union bosses.
All right, let's take a break.
Let's get out of here.
You're listening to Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Sweeps.
It all comes down to purpose. You gotta hang on to it. Whatever that thing is, that if it's that pain, if it's that joy, you gotta really hang on to it and find purpose in it and just do it to the max.
All right, well, welcome back to Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and Beyond. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's popping up?
So what were we just listening to?
We were just listening to the incredible Drew Dave.
Drew Dave is a musical genius crafting beats from samples and thin air. He has worked with incredible talent, and at one time, our very own Tez.
Yeah.
Whether he knows it or not, that album that you two created this monster that you see before us. Drew Dave, welcome back to Chip Chat.
Appreciate it.
All right, so last time we talked, it was via video link.
What was that, 2021?
It was in the height of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so welcome in real life.
Appreciate it.
It's good to get, you're taller than I thought.
6'1", yeah.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't tell. He was sitting down.
I mean, yeah, like.
Well, I'm tall. You're tall. It's,
Yeah, it's
we're, poor Bryan. All right. So welcome to the show.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for all of your music over the years, which I've been enjoying, of course. But most of all, thank you for introducing the two of us, and America thanks you. So I really do want to know, how do you feel about that?
I wish I could thank America.
We're not thanking America.
No.
Absolutely not.
Not on this show.
Absolutely not. I don't really have any thoughts. As long as y'all happy and it works out for you, then
That's the
Very
wrong
diplomatic.
I'm happy.
answer. Perfect answer.
All right,
Perfect
I'm
answer.
out of questions. Go ahead. Thank you.
That's all you have on there.
Well,
God,
that was
what-
all there was. It was about me. So
I mean, yeah, obviously, it's a running joke on the show. He likes to take credit for things he shouldn't necessarily.
I did help make Drew Dave famous. He's on Chip Chat now.
Oh, yeah.
I will say this, though, and I told him this. I did not expect Cortez to be on here 3 years later, faithfully, every Thursday.
I wouldn't have thought so either, to be perfectly
Thursday.
honest.
Yeah, I know. I'm
He
sick
seems
in the
to
head.
enjoy it.
I do
crazy.
enjoy it. I
That's
do enjoy
crazy.
it. God, there's so many places I guess I could start with. I guess with the new project, like, you put out a lot of music. Like, you put out a
Like,
high
all at
clip,
once.
a high clip of music, and like, and this might be the most time in between, right? Because is it a year since Revival Part 1?
Yeah, that was March 15th on my birthday of last year. And I actually just submitted part 3 today for mastering for my birthday in March as well. So
Okay, so there's
It's like a machine.
it is kind of, but right. Sometimes if you are a machine with it, I would say like you would hear a difference in the quality, right? And it almost is like almost
Right.
McDonald's pushing it
Right.
out, and like,
Right.
but that's not the case with you. So I guess to be detailed in the question, how are you able to kind of keep this high output and then kind of keep the quality at the same level?
that's a good question. I think it's it just comes down to being strategic, and calculated. I don't even make beats every day, believe it or not.
That okay?
I don't even
Interesting.
make beats every day, believe it or not. But over the years, it's 24 now. I've been making beats since 2005. So I have a catalog just over the years. And believe it or not, kind of what I've been able to do is if it's not a new beat that I made this week or maybe yesterday, the whole point of the Revival series is that as my ears have developed over the years and I start to hear things differently, I can revisit older beats and I'm able to kind of bring them up to par to where I am now, production-wise, to the modern-day Drew Dave. That's kind of how I've been able to utilize some of these older beats and take them and kind of make them new again. And I've been able to throw them on these projects. So conceptually, it works out.
Goes with the title too.
Absolutely. Revival, Revival has and I'm doing part 3 now, so I'm kind of making this a series now. So conceptually, it's been easy. It has a multitude of meanings. Revival ultimately is bringing things to life, like bringing everything back to life.
Right.
To revive. And then you have the revival, the church element, the gospel element. I sample out of gospel, which I incorporate into these beat tapes as well. And then, like I said, you just taking older songs, older beats, restructuring them, and just bringing them back to life, bringing them back up to par to my production methods now. It just happens to work out. It's just an easy concept. I may go to 5 doing this. I don't know.
So you're going back and listening to your old stuff and refining it?
Not all of them. It probably be on each project so far, maybe like 3 or 4 older beats. The rest of these, I'm making them as I go.
How does it feel when you listen back to something that you made previously, and it's either like, holy shit, this is good, or it's like, ooh, very cringe. I can't believe I made that.
It's both for me. I have a project I put out on one of the top underground labels in the country, Mellow Music Group, back in 2015. Yes. He's on that project as well.
Yeah.
I hate that project.
Oh, really?
I hate it.
I like.
It's trash.
Okay.
Same reason. I go back and listen to it. It's cringy for me because
you hear every mistake you ever made.
I hear every mistake, and it wasn't executed. It wasn't executed correctly. If I was to do that, if I was to do synth bass now, it'll probably be one of my best projects, one of the best I think any hip hop fan that has ever heard in terms of instrumentals. But the concept was vicious. Like yes. Conceptually, the jump was vicious. I just wasn't. My skill set at that time wasn't able to properly execute it in the way that I would execute it now.
But I guess, do you look at it as putting that out is just kind of one of those steps to get you to where you at now? Like, because like even question. Being able to reflect on that, that like has to go into like the new the creative process, right?
Absolutely. I just wish I didn't put it out on such a platform like Mellow. Like I was Real Live going to release it for free. It was just going to be a free project until things happened, and next thing I know, Mellow got a hold of it, and they wanted to release it. Yeah. I was grateful, extremely grateful, but it could have been executed way better.
For me anyway, as a musician, like I go back and listen to every performance. I even listen to this show every week, and I do not. I know. And I hit moments where I'm like, oh, I can't believe, and like you even, because you remember it, right? And you oh, here it comes. And you're like, when you go back and listen to your older stuff with the intention of improving, how do you overcome that feeling? I don't know how to call it, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Where like you hear yourself, everybody else hears it and goes, oh, that was fantastic.
Right,
and all you can hear is that one note you missed.
I mean, I believe it's.
How do you prepare yourself for that?
I believe it's creatives, and I can really only speak for me personally, but I do know other people can attest to this. We tend to be our own worst critics
by miles.
Absolutely. So what I may hear and be like, nah, that's trash. You might hear and be like, that's crazy. How did you even come up with that? So to answer your question, I think it just comes down to just practice, and you're constantly learning. I'm constantly listening to other people, my favorite producers, Madlib, Black Milk, Kareem Riggins, Kev Brown, YU, who am I missing? Ninth Wonder, Dilla, of course. Like I'm constantly listening, and then as I do that, I'm just able to just implement what I hear. You never stop creating, and as you keep creating, you never stop learning, and ultimately you never stop improving just because you're doing all these things.
On Revival, like part 2, do I hear? I might be off on this. Do I hear? It feels like it's bigger than the first. Like
sound wise.
Yeah, it feels like in listening to the whip, both of them things. If this one feels like from the bass to all these things, it sounds big.
Yeah, so like, that comes in part to, like I just said, just constantly listening and improving. So I was able to figure out new ways to mix on my end, and on top of that, I had somebody different mastering it this time. Mark Infinite, he did.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I let Mark take a stab at it, and we found a formula. So I'm gonna utilize Mark from here on out on every project.
That I could hear. I was like, oh, this is like, oh, you could feel it. Like it felt like almost like surround.
It's like that wall of sound kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like just really, around you.
Yeah, but it's not the wall, because it is very. It
felt very warm.
Yeah.
Which music doesn't always feel as
not with
warm.
Digital anymore.
Yeah, it's hard to get to that.
Yeah.
And, you mentioned Ninth Wonder in the list of folks, and I don't know if everybody knows, but you obviously had, I would say, like the privilege to be in like a program that he crafted along, obviously, with the Kennedy Center. Yeah. And I guess, can you touch on that experience, and I guess like the learns from it, like your favorite parts of this, like what you were able to take away from that?
Man, that joint was so crazy. It was one of my biggest blessings to this day. I didn't think I was going to get accepted. I'm not going to lie to you. My man from 930, the 930 Club, y'all don't know, I do security as well. I used to work at the 930 Club, but I've been at the Anthem in Southwest for the
So chill out at your
for the
fucking
past 2
shows. If
years.
you out there, be easy out there. You okay? Relax.
Right.
Relax if you out there
He
enjoying
tried
the
to
show.
throw me out of the Old Crow Medicine show 2 years ago. No, I'm kidding. Got pretty rowdy with that bluegrass stuff.
I got into a fight at a bluegrass show one day.
Well, man,
Exactly. I'm
Lord.
shocked.
So yeah,
People from Appalachia.
Yeah,
they didn't like somebody like me telling them just came back from the pandemic, mask mandate. They didn't like someone like me telling them they had to put a mask on. So that's how that happened.
I'm not that kind of bluegrass fan,
Got you.
He said,
but I know those people.
I put my mask on when told.
Not just, I mean, I'm not. This is way off topic, but Wagon Wheel turned 20 this week, the song. But this song is really much older than that. And Ketch from Old Crow traced it back in this email that he sent out to everybody, that this goes back to, he got it from Dylan. Dylan got it from Big Boy Crudup, who got it from Big Bill Brunzi, who got it from God knows how long. This is like this line that shows up in blues music for 150 years. And he made this huge point about how like country music is really black music and all this kind of stuff, you know, from the stage of the Opry. And Old Crow was the only band to put a black artist on the stage in February at the Opry, which is shameful.
Jesus Christ.
It's really bad. So like, you know, for what it's worth, there are people who know better, but I'm sorry that happened to you.
Can I cuss on the show?
Yeah.
Shit happens. That's big.
Especially in your
Shit
line of
happens,
work.
so.
Yeah.
But back to the Ninth Wonders.
So yeah, then go ahead. The Ninth Wonder workshop was a blessing. My man Carter, he from 930, he sent it to me because he know I do music. He's been a fan, and he's been supportive since the pandemic. He sent it to me. He was like, "Hey, you should check this out and think about applying." I looked at it. I seen Ninth Wonder and the Soul Council. So if y'all don't know, the Soul Council is his production team that consists of Ninth, obviously. Let me see if I can remember everyone. It's Ninth, Knots, the incredible Knots.
Jeez. Okay, it got me sold.
Right. Crisis, E. Jones, Cash, Hamp, Eric G, Soundtrack, and I'm missing one more.
Jesus.
I forgot who the last one. High Tech used to be part of Soul Council. I don't know what happened with that, but he's no longer part of it, which I'm kind of happy about. But yeah, it's those members. I think I'm missing one, but it is what it is. So they were hosting this workshop at the Kennedy Center. So I was thinking about applying. He sent it to me, I think like the end of August. The deadline was maybe the second week of September. I just remember, like I submitted my application. So you had to fill out the application online, do like a little summary about yourself and why you want to do this, woo woo, and then you had to submit a beat video. A beat video.
Interesting.
Making the beat live?
Not making the beat live. Maybe just playing it.
Okay.
Maybe I could do it live, whatever the case is. But basically, you just
you in the lab.
Exactly.
But you got those on deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I ended up doing was, I'm such a big procrastinator. I literally waited until the last minute. The jump was due on a Monday. I submitted everything Sunday night.
You gotta give yourself that pressure sometimes.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's crazy because me and my wife was talking about it earlier. I submitted everything Sunday night, like late Sunday night. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And I submitted a video that I had already posted on IG maybe a couple months before. Couple weeks go by. Maybe it wasn't a couple. Maybe it was like a week, week and a half. I'm at work now. I look at my email, and the jump says, "Congratulations, Drew Dave. You got accepted to the Ninth Wonder Workshop." That was so crazy to me because I had no anticipations of ever making it. Just because, one, like it was last minute. I submitted everything, and I was just thinking, like, I'm not going to. I'm not going to make it. It's no way. And at the same time, the dates of the workshop, I had to be down to Anthem all 3 days. We had sold out shows. The same artist, Arcade Fire.
Oh God, I can see them.
That jump was crazy.
Yeah, sure. That's a huge show.
They're
Slim.
huge.
3 days in a row. It was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 days in a row. And I'm like, it's no way I'll be able to go to the workshop and then go to work. I was able to finesse it though. Come to find out, so I asked him once I got submitted, and once I got accepted, I asked him what the times for the workshop was.
Right.
They told me it was gonna be like 10 a.m. to about 4, 5, whatever. I'm like, cool, I can swing it. I'll probably leave work about an hour early. I'll probably leave the workshop about an hour early, slide to work. The Kennedy Center.
From Kennedy Center to Anthem,
Rock
right
Creek
there.
Parkway.
Yeah,
Literally
right
right
there.
there.
Rock Creek
Yeah.
Parkway,
You
straight
could probably
shot.
run that in about 30 seconds. I mean, it's
30 minutes, but yeah.
yeah.
Rock Creek Parkway, straight
Depends on that
shot
light
though.
there at Main Avenue. But yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
Absolutely, straight
Yeah,
shot.
that's interesting. Yeah,
It's
that's
right there.
Straight shot. So that's what I was doing. I was bringing my work shit with me to the workshop. So I go to the workshop. First day, I'm meeting everyone. Ninth Soundtrack Crisis. It wasn't the whole Soul Council. It was just select few. Ninth Soundtrack Crisis, Cash, E. Jones, and that might have been it. That might have been it actually. And there was 8 of us that got accepted out of a total of 150 applications.
holy shit. So there's only 8 of you there
Yeah, out of a total of 150
at the
applications.
Kennedy Center.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. And it was Friday, Saturday. No, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the last day was a beat battle.
Was that live? Did people get to come to watch?
Yeah, yeah.
Which stage was it on at the
It was,
Kennedy?
it was at the Reach.
Oh, nice. Oh, out of the new stuff.
Yeah, it was at the Reach.
Man, I haven't even been in any of the new stuff. I thought Millennium Stage was cool. That's how old I am. I know. I saw they built the whole thing. Millennium Stage was cool, man. They had a show every night.
Yeah.
6 o'clock
they got a
for
whole
free.
Extended
For free, yeah.
I
for
know.
free.
I just had. I don't know if you
Damn
know
near
this.
the
I have all
Potomac.
these children and stuff. Yeah, we used to run right. Well, crew team. We used to run right past there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, the beat battle was it free or did you? I don't remember, but it was definitely live.
Did you win?
I lost in the second round to a girl. I loafed. I loafed. Like I got to. I'm gonna tell you what happened. They put me up against this dude named Ab Joe in the first round, and he's vicious. I knew about him prior to the workshop because he's part of this collective called Selection. And Selection has some heavy hitters. Like they've been vicious. So he was there, and honestly, I think me and him was probably the best in terms of skill set in the workshop. So, and I think they knew that coming into the battle. So they put me and him together in the first round, just like the 2 titans in the first round, just to kind of give the people a show.
Bad draw.
Yeah, I beat him though,
Good for you.
but I beat him with the it was like an overtime type jump.
with the type of beat
It was
you played.
it was a tiebreaker. It was a tiebreaker.
Brian hates overtime. Don't bring that up.
It was a
He
tiebreaker.
does.
He hates it.
He probably hated the Super Bowl too.
He
Now.
That's
did.
the whole
That's
point.
the point. Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
You know where
That's
we
crazy.
already at.
That's
Yeah.
He hated the Super Bowl.
That's crazy. But,
Insane.
But
And
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I beat him with a tiebreaker. And I was playing some shit, but he had some shit too. But I ultimately ended up beating. I beat him with a Sade flip. I had flipped. Is it a crime?
Ooh.
And Crisis lost his mind when I played that jump. Like he went crazy. But I ended up winning. I had my laptop in my hand. I had my hard drive sitting on top of my laptop. As I'm walking off the stage, my hard drive fell.
Oh no.
What?
It would not come back on.
No.
Drama.
It would not come back on either.
So you lost like 90% of your.
I had to end up paying a whole stack to get my hard drive recovered, and I didn't even recover 100%. It was probably like 85.
But you're going into
You're
the
happy about
next
it.
round.
I was happy about that.
85%.
But you're going into your next
Yeah,
round
The immediate.
I know.
severely
So
handicapped.
fortunately, what I was handicapped. I was mentally handicapped. I still had all my music because I had fortunately dragged that folder onto my desktop.
Oh.
By the grace of God, I had the wherewithal to do that. But mentally, I was
Hand moved your cursor.
yeah. But mentally, I was fucked up because I'm like, damn, this is my drive. Like my life's work is on this drive. So I was fucked up. So I played a beat, which I thought was vicious because the girl I went up against, and at the same time, I kind of let my guard down. I'm like, I got Bowser out the way. it's smooth sailing from here.
Ah.
But in the battle, you can't do that.
No, you
cannot
can't.
do that. And I should have known better.
You have
I've
to
been in battles.
always
before.
play-
You've been in a lot of battles before.
Always
I've
play
been in
like you're
battles before.
behind.
You've been in a
I-
lot of battles too.
I know. I let my guard down. She won, but I'm gonna say she won by technicality only because, and you can ask why you this too, because he was there. Drew Kid was there too. What happened was, we get a minute each per beat. She went over her time. The judges didn't call it in time. She went over. But as she kept playing, there was a switch in the beat that just was so crazy. And the audience basically made the decision for the judges because they were screaming and yelling. They
reacted.
went crazy.
And they're not watching the clock.
Yeah. So that's basically what happened. I'm not mad or bitter about it at all.
Yeah,
that,
y'all all in the same fucking Ninth Wonder program.
Yeah, and you all win together.
But also the competitive nature, I feel.
Absolutely.
If we
I just
can
know I should've won
restage that battle, will you do it?
No question.
We can do that.
With the same exact beats I had for all 3 rounds, or 4 rounds rather.
We can stage a DJ battle on Chip Chat. We can do that. We have the DJs. We have we have the studio. We have that weird aluminum thing that I bought several years ago.
That's still just sitting there as a coat rack.
No, it's not a coat rack. We use it.
It's definitely a coat rack.
No, it's an actual DJ table.
What about the producers though?
There's Bryan. It's right there. Oh, you mean the performers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've got this guy. I don't know if you know him, Drew Dave. He's pretty good. And this
fucking guy here.
No, we have, but we can do it, or we'd love to get a group together. If you know like 3 or 4 people that you want to
no
do
question.
that battle,
No question.
we could get the pseudoscientists in here too with their modular stuff.
Now I almost want to ask full questions about the Kennedy Center and stuff.
Yeah, can you get us on the Kennedy Center?
I do not have that kind of pull.
What?
Look, there you go. Always asking.
I do not have that kind of pull.
All right, let's just go to them other. What's your earliest memory of hip hop?
Ooh,
My earliest.
you're about to make us feel old. Me.
I'd have been in 3rd grade. My first album, believe it or not, was Will Smith's Big Willie Style.
Hey, that's a good album.
It's an incredible
It's a
album.
good album. I don't care what anybody says.
It's a great album, but also
A lot. I know. Don't age yourself.
Nas wrote
Yeah, there's the writing, the credits on that.
I know.
There's a great. Yeah.
I had the tape.
Yeah, I had the same too. Then I had the CD. Now even before that, I had the Space Jam soundtrack.
Ah, great
cassette.
soundtrack.
Oh my
Hey,
God! to
great
this day,
soundtrack.
First
I
time
remember
first
when
time
I
I ever
saw
heard
Space
D'Angelo.
Jam.
Ah, yeah.
'Cause, Can't Find My Smile Again. Was
Yes.
On that song. Yeah, that might have been my earliest.
That's a good
That might have
one
been my
right
earliest.
there.
Yeah, I had.
We can't sing the theme song anymore.
Look, all right. If we're gonna be candid right here,
We're not.
I'm gonna be as
You're
candid as
you're still rocking R.
I'm not
Kelly?
still rocking it. I was at home, and the Batman with Mr. Freeze, is that Batman and Robin?
Yeah.
That was going on.
With Seal, with Kiss from Rose.
But no, they played.
That's on there too.
That is on there, but they played a song from He Who Shall Not Be Named.
Yes.
And it was like the I think it's called The Ghetto. I'm pretty sure that's the name. And I was like, God, this is a hit.
Yes.
I was like, yo, this is a
And it
goddamn hit.
was.
I was sitting here, I was doing something else. The credits was rolling. I was like, is that who I think? Oh,
The
anyway.
dude had like 23 number ones.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, musical genius, bad guy.
Yes.
Moving on. That Space Jam soundtrack is a good one because that joint had a lot of they had a lot of hits on that too.
Yeah.
They had a lot of hits outside of Bugs Bunny even rapping on that.
I don't want you to know what my first hip hop record.
All right, date yourself.
No, I'm not telling you.
Mine was what's the name? Dangerous Minds.
I'll
That's
tell
great.
you that it
Yeah, that was mine. That was
That's
mine. The soundtrack, Dangerous
that
Minds.
mine involved
Coolio was on the Space Jam soundtrack.
He was on that,
He
yeah.
was on there,
mine
too.
involved asking Mary why she was bugging. So that's
Wow,
yeah.
that's
So
fucking-
shut up, all of you.
Jesus, 80s.
Yes,
Sorry,
shut
I'm
up,
not gonna
quiet.
go
It was also on a tape.
yes, I mean, if you tape is, I'm
We didn't get a CD player until like 1989 or something.
cassette. Oh God, anyways, I'm not gonna.
That's the year I came into the world.
Yeah. All right, there you go.
Great,
Take it.
thanks,
There you
Janae.
go.
Thanks for coming out. See you later.
Pour more on. I mean, we've discussed this outside, and I always say it's like you weave a lot of the area into the music that you make, and like, what is the selection process for that? Like, you pick very like they fit so well, and like, is it just kind of like you like I already know, I know whether it's Big G or whether it's a motherfucker on the news, like again, like whatever it might be, you pick interesting things to like tie your music to this area, and like, how does that happen?
I think it's just instinct and it's organic, really. I think no matter what I do, I try to always not only show love, but to reflect where I come from to those who are not from here. And even to those that are, but it's just like I like to do so without being so like blatant, like without being so forced. Like,
you're very subtle on how you do it.
But know. when the fans hear it, we catch it.
That's all right,
and it feels really good.
Yes.
And if you happen to be married to somebody from New York, and you go like, "Hey," and she goes, "Why are you so excited?" And you go like, "You're damn."
I think it's always like cool if I'm watching a movie, if I'm seeing something that I wouldn't have any anticipation, expectation to have any type of ties to this area, and I would hear references from this area. It's just always good to. It's like when I remember going down to I went to VSU for 2 years for school in Petersburg, Virginia, and I'll be honest with you, at that time, I was listening to go-go, but I think going down there and leaving home made me like really love go-go even more. So I was playing that shit all the time down there just because I had missed home so much.
Trying to make a point.
Yeah, no question. I think things like that, and then I met other people from the area, and then we just became.
They heard the motherfucking go-go's like it's a bat signal.
Yeah.
They was like, "What the fuck is
who
playing that?"
No question.
I tried that in Connecticut, didn't work.
Would never.
Shocking.
Right.
But it's like seeing Anthony Anderson wearing a Redskins jersey in the Transformers movie.
Yeah.
This is like a really tiny thing, but you're like, oh, and then you know why, because he's a hard guy, and you're like, it feels good.
I seen an interview with Jeffrey Wright, the actor, and Taraji. I think it might have been for, what's that magazine, Vogue, I believe? One of the major magazines. And they were just talking about being from D.C.
Right.
I just felt a lot of pride. I'm not from the city specifically. I grew up in Alexandria, but I live in PG now. But just being from the area, I just felt a lot of pride watching that interview.
If you're from inside the Beltway, you can claim it to the people outside the Beltway.
I wouldn't do that.
Not here inside.
I still wouldn't do that.
You can tell people in Minnesota you're from D.C.
I mean, they wouldn't know the difference.
They don't know the difference. That's what I'm saying.
Because if you try to go more macro with them, they're going to be like, what? Huh?
Right.
What do you mean? What is Arlington? Yeah.
Right.
You live in a cemetery? Yeah.
Right, they would definitely think that.
Was born in the district and grew up in Arlington. I'm like, why did you grow up in a cemetery? I'm like, I didn't grow up. Oh my God. Never mind. I'm from DC. Just move on.
Right. But yeah, I just in terms of the references in my music, it's just natural. Sometimes I do make it intentional. I got a jump on the beat tape called City Shit. But it's an older beat for one, and it already had the congas in it. But then I purposely took like the acapellas from like Big G and other people from here to make it sound like they had like a go-go. So that was intentional. But for the most part, I just try to just always just keep home close to me. So.
All right, I got a few more. Hold on. All right, we're gonna do top 5 artists you would want to have a placement like on one of their records. We're gonna go from 5 up to 1 though. So we're gonna start at 5 and we're gonna work our way to 1.
This won't even be in any order for real.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
He's like, fuck your order.
Fuck your order. Exactly. All right. Well,
I'm an artist. I don't care about your rules.
Fuck your order. Fuck my segment.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyways.
No disrespect. No disrespect.
No, but yeah. Go ahead.
No, you can.
Honestly though, I have 5.
Like it just like I mean, but all right.
But just give us the 5.
It's definitely way more than 5.
But I say more than 5. But like
no,
the ones like more so like
narrow it down.
when like you got into this and you like, because I feel like we all kind of have those like in them quiet moments. Like if we could have where would be like, because artists that you just respect and that you like, nah, like I know I would be able to make some shit that's gonna take what they do to the next level.
Yeah. Real quick, I just had a flashback. This just reminded me of when you interviewed me at GW like 15 years ago.
Jesus Christ, that's a long time ago. That's another
crazy.
Thursday show.
That's crazy.
A long time ago.
So this ain't
another
this ain't
from the tribe. My boy Noah with me.
You can take the radio out of the guy, but you can't take the guy off of the
And
radio.
I always link with the same type of folks.
There
as well,
seems
too.
to be a
It's
theme
very
there.
weird. Yo, shout out to my boy Noah.
It's not
Noah
new to
with
you.
me,
I don't know
boy.
how I feel about that.
I blew your spot up. That's my fault.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
You caused this.
Yeah.
You facilitated
And
this
RBI.
weird thing.
Yeah,
Blame RBI. It's his fault.
Yeah.
He played y'all record, and I loved it. And that was his mistake.
That's crazy. Shout out to RBI. That's
Yeah,
a
always.
that's a
Yeah,
good man.
I
Good
love
man.
him,
I've learned a lot from RBI.
God.
Like a tremendous amount of shit.
He's one of our favorite guests.
Yes,
too.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Top 5 though. This won't be top 5, but Mick Jenkins for one.
Okay,
I
yeah.
actually
I can see
just
that.
passed him a flash drive when I seen him at Howard Theater. What was that, like 2 weeks ago?
Come on, Mick.
Yeah,
I heard Seen was here.
some
Please.
shit on there. I got some shit on there.
Please.
That'd be perfect.
He can come on
I
for
can
the battle.
see that.
We
I can see
put
that,
that
working.
right here.
I can see
That
that
would be
working
dope.
real well.
Mick Jenkins. Let me pull up my Spotify. I can't.
Let's see.
This is official.
Let's see who.
This is very
Right, who,
like
like-
Shade 45. Like we're like, hold on, let me.
Hey,
name check.
Nipsey, rest his soul. Nipsey was still here.
That seems easy.
that I can
Yeah.
see that one
Yeah.
here as well.
We're not going to get him on the show.
No.
Probably not.
Um,
Brian, how are you at raising the dead?
Fonte.
Fonte, I could definitely.
Fonte.
Fonte, I could see that easily. That's a really good one.
If you hear that lovely background music,
Yo,
that's
they
our
knew.
studio mates.
Conway.
They knew.
Who? Conway.
Conway.
Conway, I could see that. I
Yeah.
can see any of those gentlemen from Griselda over there. They insane.
No question. J Rock, Kendrick.
J Rock, that would be real. J Rock.
Sauce Walker's another one, young. He's, oh my God, he's vicious.
Okay,
I think that's like 6 right there. But
that's okay.
yeah,
There you go. I was like, the people you can hear in the drummers, they knew Drew Dave was coming. So they auditioning.
They were
They
new.
don't want to see someone.
We
Yeah.
had like some guys making music about a couple months ago when we came up, and I was like, "Oh, did we move to a cool building?" And then they left. But now we've got these guys. So whatever they're doing, they're working out their drum kit.
All right, here's a wild one. So, what is something you would tell 23-year-old Drew Dave?
Oof.
Just about music, about how I guess in your progression, kind of in making music. Like, what would you tell the 23-year-old?
This is 3 years ago, Drew Dave.
He don't age.
23.
That's
I want to say just the same thing I'm doing now. Just keep plugging away, keep hustling. I think about this frequently. I feel like I missed out on a lot of my 20s. You know, and I think about you and like Twan and the rest of y'all, how y'all was always going out, and I feel like I missed out on life to some degree. When they be out doing that, I be in the house.
The most focused man I've ever seen.
I'm working. I was working.
Yeah,
and
like
I'm still doing that to this day, 10 years later.
Yeah.
so like come hang out, and you're like, no, I'd
Nah.
rather sit here and mix beats.
Yeah.
Yeah, hands that's true.
I think it came to the point now they don't even call me no more just because they know I'm not gonna really fuck with it. I'm not gonna.
That's not it. That's just
It
ain't.
took us 6 months to book this date, so you know
Right.
that's pretty good. It's just you're the first guest that Tez has ever booked
That's crazy.
in
Look,
3
kid,
years.
I got a lot of shit going on, man.
Do you though?
Yeah, I show up.
Yeah.
And I talk.
He said,
I'm here. I'm here every Thursday, yo.
He said I'm present.
Might be
I'm
5
present.
minutes before the show fucking starts, but I'm here.
Coming in hot.
Coming out. You're a text message.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would just say keep just keep grinding, keep plugging.
Obviously, it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've accomplished a fucking lot.
Yeah, I'm still not where I want to
of
be
course,
though.
yeah,
But in hindsight though, like I have
You-
done a lot of shit. I brush shoulders with some of the best.
Yeah.
The best in the industry, the best in hip hop in general.
Yeah.
And
You
I've
compete.
been lucky.
You compete with again, anybody.
Yeah, don't chalk it up to luck. I mean, luck definitely plays a part in it, no question, right?
Yeah.
The right
your
person's got to hear the right thing.
Your work ethic
but
is something
you
high.
have earned your position.
I appreciate that.
And
Appreciate
the
that.
quality of your work speaks for itself.
Here's a wild one. What does legacy mean to you then?
Legacy is something you can pass down. It's something that once I die, if I was to walk out of here, God forbid, and something happens to me,
Right.
I have a legacy right now. Like you can go on the computer and pull up my music.
You can Google you.
Yeah.
His Bandcamp is deep.
My son is on that.
I was gonna ask that too. I heard that because it's at Daddy I Lie at the end on the last track, right?
On the very that's the second jump on the last track that he's on. So that's my legacy.
Are you gonna keep doing that? Is that like gonna be a Easter egg for your fans?
Maybe not every project, but I feel like I'm incorporating with a lot of stuff. On this next beat tape, I got a beat on there where nowadays it's crazy. When I'm home, it's my job to put him to sleep. When I'm working or I'm not there, obviously my wife does that. But when I'm home, it's my job to put him to sleep. So what he does now, what I used to do to him is read to him every night. But now what he wants to do is come down to my studio.
Wow.
He wants to do music.
He want to do music. He said, Daddy, I come upstairs around 8 o'clock. He go to sleep. I said, Slim, you got to get ready for bed. He said, all right, well, can I come down and do music later? I said, yeah, you got to hurry up, though. So he go upstairs, take a shower on his own, get dressed on his own, and he come back downstairs, and he's doing music with me. I got a beat on this next beat tape where I have played a synth on it, and he loves that part. So he's always he calls himself saying that's his favorite beat now, just due to that synth. I remember I had played it, and I was just messing around with it. I wasn't really gonna lay it, but he was like, "Daddy, you should put that in there." So now he's giving me input, and his ears have kind of gravitated to what he likes to hear, and it's kind of crazy because it'll probably be the same shit that I would like to hear also. So he's slowly starting to develop. So I mean that right there is also part of my legacy. Obviously,
You're gonna collaborate with him on the next record.
The next one, I don't know.
You already have if he's selected.
I mean, he's already influencing your
producer
music.
credits on
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
song.
yeah.
I hear you.
He needs to get at least an
you.
associate producer credit on this.
I hear you. I'll keep that in mind for
Get
sure.
his ass cap set up.
Yeah.
For real. That's what DJ Khaled did.
Yeah.
That is real.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's
that's what I would consider my legacy. Just anything that you could tangible, not tangible, anything that you could still reference to you once you're dead and gone.
So speaking of legacy,
yeah.
Have you heard of this place called Florida?
I wish I didn't.
Right.
That's a great.
So do so many of us.
Ever had on here.
Play some shit.
All right, so we did ask you here to ask you all this important stuff, which you've done an excellent job. But we also want to see if you will play this ridiculous game with us called Florida or Not.
Florida
I'll try
or
to.
not?
That's go ahead, hit it again, Brian.
Florida or not?
You know who that is?
Who's that?
Is that Charlemagne?
No.
Substantial.
That's Stan.
That's substantial.
Yeah.
What's the context behind it?
That's a great question.
Here's how this works. We're going to read you a news story with the locational details removed, and you have to tell us whether this story happened in Florida or not in Florida.
We asked Substantial that, and because he's such a damn teacher,
we were
said
like,
Florida
it's called
or not.
Florida or not, and he goes, Florida or not?
Florida or not?
Before we do this though, a while ago I seen some shit online to Google your birthday and the type of Florida and see what comes up.
Oh,
Right.
God, that sounds scary.
I did that. It was scary. Somebody had decapitated his grandfather.
Clip it, Brian. Sorry, Stan, you just lost the job.
Stop playing that before.
Yeah, Florida or not? Somebody decapitated his grandfather.
so y'all should do that when you get.
Oh my, that might be a whole new thing. We just
No, I've done it before. You don't want to. No.
All right, continue. I'm gonna do some research.
Okay.
My birthday is rife with fuckery.
Yeah.
Tsunamis and all types of shit.
So, Drew Dave, are you ready to play Florida or not?
Absolutely.
All right. Parents of students at a school had some questions when their children came home with permission slips asking consent to participate in a reading of an African-American author's book
last Tuesday. The permission slip shared on social media by one parent read in part, quote, "Students will participate and listen to a book written by an African American," end quote. Chuck Walter, who posted the slip on Twitter, said, quote, "I had to give permission for this or else my kid would not participate, question mark. This is an unneeded process for our overworked teachers and can create more division amongst parents," said Walter. The permission slip did not specify who the author was or what the book was that was being read. The TV station that found this out shared a statement from the school district which read, "We realize that the description of the event may have caused confusion, and we're working with our schools to reemphasize the importance of clarity for parents in describing activities/events that would require parental permission. However, in compliance with state law, permission slips were sent home because guest speakers would participate during a school-authorized educational-related activity." The education commissioner responded, calling it a hoax. The law in question, named the school-sponsored events and activities, is in addition to the Parental Rights Act, which was filed in such and such a year. The rule specifies that an event or activity as, quote, "an event or activity the school of enrollment created for students to study or participate in while the custody of the school district or field trips, extracurricular activity, blah, 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 blah. It requires parental permission slips for events or activities and supplemental programs, and the permission slips must include at a minimum the nature of the event or activity, the date and times of the event, the specific location and types of sponsors and guests at the activity, the types of guests at the activities.
Oh, of course, the guests.
And the method of student supervision. The indication of the speaker as an African-American author is not something required by the law, but was highly encouraged.
He stopped doing that. They used to require that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
Okay, did this happen in Florida or not in Florida?
This is a tough one because with critical race theory in the country and all that, trying to be shut down and whatnot, that could have been anywhere.
That is why we chose it, yes.
I want to say Florida.
Okay. Explain your reasoning.
I feel like they're not exempt from just being rednecks.
Hey, there it is. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah,
this has Florida written all over it. Literally.
I saw where it was.
This is
right?
Miami.
It was in Miami?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Miami-Dade, I think. Yeah, it was, Miami-Dade.
Jesus.
South Florida. Yeah, in South Florida. They're like,
that's not supposed to be real Florida.
We're letting a black person come to the school and read to the children. And the parents are like, wait a minute. Is it a real black person? They're like, well, yeah, you got to sign a permission slip. Like,
crazy. All right, I looked up while y'all were doing this. I just put in March 11th.
Oh, God, no.
I put March 11th, and I put in Florida. And this is from a story from 2020.
Oh, no. No.
I'm just going to read the first part of this.
No.
Orlando, Florida. A Florida man was caught using a stolen credit card of a dead man and was then seen trying to eat the card to destroy the evidence before he was questioned by deputies, according to an arrest report. And then along with that, there's a lumber fire that's happening right now somewhere around Silver Star Road. But I am happy that when I first put that in, the first thing that came up was events. And one of the first events was Burna Boy.
There you go.
In Tampa.
That fixes everything.
So I was like, all right, cool.
Didn't he just win a Grammy?
Like the artist or
the artist, Burna Boy.
Yeah, he's performing there.
Yeah,
no,
shit.
Because you never know.
Oh, you never know in Tampa.
That's the one with the lumber. That's where there's a lumber fire.
That's, oh, God.
Not for real.
The lumber fire.
Go to break, Bryan. No. Shit. That one's on fire.
Oh, God, yeah. No, lumber fire happened to somewhere in the middle of Florida.
I'm not touching that. I could get burnt.
Yeah, they'll have to. Anyways, look. I'm not either.
All right, Drew Dave, before we go to the break.
Yes, sir.
And we want to do two things. One, tell everybody where they can get your music and follow you and all that kind of good stuff. And two, we want to invite you to stick around for the rest of the show, which you can turn down, and many people do.
What time is it?
11 o'clock.
It says right there. He's thinking about it.
I got to hit the road.
Okay, yeah, we knew that was going to happen. Smart move.
Me too.
All right, so Bryan tried to get out of here 30 minutes ago.
shit. All of us was like, please look, you know.
All right, so where can everybody get your records and stuff?
As of right now, Drew Dave Music. That's DREWDAVE music.bandcamp.com.
You can just Google him.
Yeah, yes, you can definitely.
Literally Google Drew Dave.
Spotify,
and pops right up.
Spotify, Apple. I don't use Apple personally, but it's on Spotify as well.
All right, and can they follow you on the social medias and things?
Yes, sir. Drew Dave 703 on IG, and then Julius Dave, like Julius, on Twitter. DREWLIUS Dave on Twitter.
There you go. All right, you can follow him and get his records and do all that stuff. We're gonna post a bunch of clips and everything.
Amount of output that you have done over the fucking last.
Somehow there was like an explosion. I don't know if you were like just. I don't. We'll have to have you back on to ask you more about that. It's like
it was just the pandemic. I had nothing to do. I wasn't working. They shut everything down. I'm on unemployment, so I had nothing. And your
brain was going crazy.
My brain is always crazy, but now I had the time to actually execute what I be thinking. I just had ample amounts of time. So I just kept up that momentum to the best of my ability to this day.
Must be great to be smart and creative and focused.
Those three. That is your.
I'm one of those things.
I got a beat tape called Focus right there.
Yeah.
See?
Right. Exactly.
It's right there. It's called Focused. You can download it from
when you're not focused. Listen to
$10.99. Yeah. Pay your artists.
No question.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Are we gonna play? We're gonna play one of his songs to go to the break. All right. We're gonna.
Or it's gonna be Alex Jones.
Well, we're gonna do both. So we're gonna play one of Drew Dave's songs, and then we hope you'll stick around. We'll do this off air, but we just want to see your reaction to something. So, all right, we're gonna play. We'll find out which song it is in a second. You're listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
It's not funny. I'm going to say it real slow for you. Gay frogs. Won't you fight for your life? Gay frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like a frog. Gay friggin' frogs. Frogs! Friggin' frog crap! Won't you fight the frogs? It's not funny! I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Frogs! I'm sick of all these witches and warlocks. They're full of shit! Pumpkin possums, I'm sick of it!
You keep interrupting me.
All of it's lies. said he was invincible. I will not suffer your Q people after this. I knew what you were day one, and I know what you are now. Witches and warlocks are full of shit. Pumpkin possums, I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
And all of its lies. Because you're lying. That's why every goddamn thing out of your people's mouths doesn't come true. You said it was all over. You told us the stuff. You. Oh, God. Witches and warlocks, you're full of shit. Pumpkin possums, I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
And all of its lies. Because you're lying. That's why witches and warlocks are full of shit. Pumpkin possums, I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
And all of its lies. Because you're lying. That's why.
Yeah, he's not actually on beat. The guy who makes the video makes it on beat. Yeah.
Sorry, we subjected you to
Welcome back to Tim Chat here. We just wanted to see True Dave's reaction to that
My face,
Alex Jones.
I laugh at this shit every week. And it's
Turning the frogs gay.
That shit is some crazy shit to fucking say. Oh shit, my fucking face.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay. You ready to do a little more radio? Will you stick around for one more segment?
Sure.
Don't worry, it's not political.
Sure.
Okay.
This one is Bryan.
It's a little bit political. All right, this one is called Crime and Punishment Bryan Edition. So I'm just going to read the headline here. Adult performer Sergeant Miles has been sentenced to 2 years in prison for assaulting, resisting, or impeding law enforcement officers during the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. That's all true. The D.C. court also sentenced Miles to a year of supervised release, and he has to pay $2,000 in restitution.
You got off easy.
Yeah, well, 2 years in prison for a porn star. Feels like a little on the nose. All right. Well, I don't know where they put it, if it's on the nose or wherever, but all right.
Oh,
The Florida-based...
dang.
The Florida-based Miles, a self-identified member of the Proud Boys group.
Self-identified.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Enrique was like, nah, he's not in. But there, he was like, I'm a Proud Boy.
Self-identified is wild.
I'm a Proud Boy, he said. And they were like, no, you're not. He didn't stand by or stand whatever.
Whatever he was in.
Yeah. He has 370 adult credits on IAFD. What does that stand for, Bryan? I have no idea. Oh, interesting note, most of which are in gay productions.
That I'm familiar with. He does.
So he'd be right at
he's
home.
more in the what they call male, bazinga, whatever they want to call it.
Is he a gay for pay guy? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a crazy thing, right?
You're really gay at that point.
So well, yes.
Yeah, man.
You're just also getting paid, and good on you, I suppose. But so this Proud Boy is in 370 gay porn films, and he's going to prison. I fail to see the punishment here for this insurrection.
For real.
Yo!
I feel like we may have done this justice thing a little backwards.
Put him in a women's prison or something.
Interestingly,
A women's prison.
Is exactly backwards is how Sergeant Miles likes it. So,
oh, God.
what-
Jesus Christ.
Miles traveled to D.C. for the January 6th rally, quote, but left before any speeches began, instead opting to rendezvous with other Proud Boys. This is sounding like one of his movies.
Yeah.
Quote, and playing a leading role in the riot. Oh, shit. All right. Leading role, eh?
Oh, God. Oh.
What kind of show is this?
According to Miles, according to the court records, Miles then shoved a Capitol police officer. Go ahead, play the music, Bryan. And attempted to punch another. Okay, a short time later, Miles, there you go.
He's in the fisting.
He used a wooden plank to smash a window and gain entrance inside. Yeah, to the back door of the Capitol.
Oh, God.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, that's what you like to do?
Like,
so
heavy caveat on that we're not kink shaming on this show,
Yeah,
man.
well, if that's what
Whatever
you're
you're
into.
into, man, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
Just
know,
like, please don't undo democracy while you're doing it.
Yeah, you got to get out that frustration, you know, 'cause
Yeah.
you don't want to be your true self. I mean,
I mean, whatever. It is what it is. As long as you got paid for it, that's cool. He's paying for it with 2 years in prison.
He's not.
What? Oh, breaking news.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Breaking news.
Yes, breaking news. Breaking news.
So 4 after the segment.
Yes. Yes. So breaking news. While we were playing Alex Jones and all this stuff, and usually during the interview, I was scrolling through my OnlyFans pages. Anyway.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey. I
gotta do something while we're here.
Yeah. So apparently, I saw this page. If you don't know who page is that, and you see the name, it's Rachel Dolezal's.
Rachel Dolezal has an OnlyFans.
She has. The funny part is the frequently asked questions. So I'm gonna zoom in.
Okay.
As best as I can, because this is the funny part. Because
How
I
can
did
I
not
access
know she
premium
was
content?
way into this stuff. So apparently she says, how can I get, someone asks, how can I get access to the premium content? She replies, you have access to everything I send out during your subscription period. Premium content automatically comes to your inbox, including descriptions of what it is in each bundle, past content, and not available on demand. Then, next question was, how do I get access to past PPVs? And she says, weekly check up your DMs. Now, this is where it got interesting. She says, pretty much, do you offer custom content, sexting, or video chat? Sorry, not yet. So
Okay. That's unfortunate because I pay the $3.99 or whatever to get her to say a few.
Actually,
things.
you could probably got it in cheap because now it's up to $9.99. So
$9.99. Well, the reason this is in the news is because she had a job, believe it or not, as a teacher. Do I have that right?
Yep.
In Arizona.
She got fired.
And then the parents found out about her OnlyFans and she got fired.
I got 2 cards that I had in my wallet.
Do you have your NAACP card?
I have my NAACP.
She has
card.
one too.
I have that, and I have a gift card to Dick's.
No.
I seen somebody say that she makes
This dick.
Oh Lord, what's the guy we just saw?
Rachel.
So
What's the name?
So
the Brown Boy.
It's right. It's interesting that Bryan brought that up because he appears to many people as a black man, but he is show identified as white. So
it's kind of
he's like a Dolezal but in reverse.
Yeah.
We're gonna call him Bryan Dolezal from now on.
Brian, yeah. He's
Tony Kiki, you can have that one for next week.
They're gonna, they started that, not us.
That's not our gig.
That's not our gig.
But it is funny.
I remember I went for the first time. I was like, wait, huh? Oh, I get the joke now.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Brian's the white guy on the network.
I get the show.
Every network has to have one. Then that's the rules. All right. Thanks for that breaking news, Bryan. Moving right along. This one is called Vlad the Tickler. All right, so you may know that there's this guy who's in charge of Russia.
Yes.
And he doesn't tolerate, anything. And
even though he's a totalitarian.
Yeah, he's a totalitarian.
But he doesn't tolerate anything.
He doesn't tolerate anything. Yeah. Totalitarian. Yeah, that's fine. I got it. I picked up what you're putting down. All right. The real challenge here is, can you read the name of the offender in this crime and punishment story?
Elena Agnova?
Agafona?
Agafona.
I don't know. It's Russian.
I see Nova at
Nova.
Agafonova.
Agafonova. There you go. Yeah, now I know in Russia, yeah, that's true. In Russian, if you're a woman, your last name is something Va. Even if it's so that's how it's like the female demonym of the name or whatever.
Oh, like Maria Sharapova.
Sharapova. So her father's name would be Sharapov or something like that. And she's Sharapova because it signifies feminine in the way like El or La in Spanish.
Spanish, right.
There you go. Okay. Anyway, Alina, we're going to call her, landed herself in hot water after posting a video beneath the Motherland Calls monument in Volgograd.
One of the grads.
One of those fucking Russian cities that we almost bombed in southwest Russia on Instagram last year.
Oh, God.
This is last year. It's a 279-foot statue of a woman with her titties out, brandishing a sword, apparently.
Like, hold on. Yeah, exactly. That's what the thing
And somehow that commemorates the heroes of the Battle of Stalingrad. Now, that was a big battle.
That's a huge battle.
Many millions of people died there.
wave of people kind of battle, the way we fight wars. She's currently hiding in Sri Lanka because the Russians, they want to throw her in the gulag because she made a video on Instagram where, as you can see on the image here, she's tickling the statue from the ground.
Hey.
This is obviously, treasonous.
You could ruin the whole country by doing this.
Well, she's defaming those defenders of Stalingrad because none of them would have looked at that statue and thought, hey, we've been stuck in Stalingrad under enemy fire for a year. That statue's looking pretty hot right now.
Or if we know what the Red Army really did is they made their way across the Eastern Europe and,
this isn't a history lesson.
I know,
Got to go on Tucker Carlson for that later. Yeah, where's your book? Also, Tucker Carlson discovered that Moscow...
The latest I've ever not put a book out.
Moscow has Aldi.
Okay.
He was like, oh, look. Aldi.
He didn't know they had what?
No,
How?
he goes there and he goes, look at their grocery stores. They make you put in a quarter to get a grocery cart.
So rich.
And
He's so rich.
And that's how they make sure that people return the carts back to the store. And everybody's like, Tuckums. Did you just find out about that? Also, Giant doesn't have that, and people still return the carts.
They do.
It's called socialism. Tucker Carlson's favorite ism. It's right up there with testicle tanism.
This is fucking insane. He's insufferable for a fucking guy, man. He was selling that. No, don't do that, please.
Please don't do that.
Please don't.
Unless you're Tucker Carlson. Tan away.
Cancer away.
Testicle tanning Tucker.
Ugh.
Triple T.
Ugh.
Yeah, love it. All right, let's take a break to mercifully let Drew Dave out of this.
Yes, he's like, please,
been a good sport.
Yes, he has. He got
tickling titties in Putin's Russia.
Yeah, we all could get thrown out a window very soon.
Yeah, but we're safe here in America. He's an international hip hop star.
No,
He's going to have to tour and stuff.
I'm not there yet.
Not there yet?
Well, just don't take him along with you on the next record and you'll be fine.
I hear you.
Yeah.
He said, look, for more reasons.
I might need a hype man, though.
Hey, look, I can do that.
Brian.
Hey. No. Black people.
You want to be the hype man? You're the talent.
Shit, look.
I'll be the hype man. Hey!
We need to be road manager, whatever. Look, I get
warm-up act.
Look, whatever you need, man.
What's up? Listen to these guys. No. Pay me.
We could start the show. We could be the comedic relief.
We've done that several times. It hasn't worked yet, but one day it will. Shout out Sub-Z and
look,
everybody.
They seem to be okay.
They had a good time with us.
They were like, just get the fuck off the stage.
Shut up. We want to play music.
Get the hell out of here.
All right. Drew Dave, one more time, where can everybody get your music and follow you on the socials and stuff?
DrewDaveMusic.bandcamp.com. On Twitter, Drewlius Dave, DREWLIUS Dave. IG Drew Dave 703.
There you go. And we're gonna post all kinds of links and stuff, and we'll tag you and all that kind of thing. So
that's a bet.
Thank you so much for coming by. We really appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna play another track and take a break. Oh, you got an applause line.
That's all right. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know you thought the bell was the only production.
That's all the production we have.
This is all we have here.
Oh, Bryan has more buttons.
Yeah, he has a lot more buttons.
Yeah, don't push him.
Don't push him.
That's right.
I'll give you guys that one. Everybody went for
We're
that
both
one. Low fucking hanging fruit.
Right there. Okay, we're going to take a break. You're listening to Tip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Sweeps!
might do 100 years now. I'm fucking with you.
I gotta take care of my own.
You're
It's
in
her
charge of
birthday.
everybody's wife.
What the fuck is that? Yo, what the
That's how it goes.
Christ? That's a hell of a way to leave.
Is that?
Jesus Christ. He just walks out on that. Anyways, that's insane. Like, hey, you're in charge.
You're in charge.
Okay.
That's happened to me several times.
Oh, God. Okay.
Welcome back to Chip
We've
Chat
been back.
here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm Chip. Who are you, Tez?
You just told him.
So you're somehow now in charge of everybody's significant others.
Yeah, I just
at the next event.
Okay.
That's happened though.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I can't. Yeah.
You're the chaperone.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we had a birth, I was just like, I'm just the executive assistant. I'm just here to shepherd
Gopher
people from place to place.
Yeah,
and you need,
my job is to make sure everybody gets to where they're supposed to go safely, and
That's
I'm
all.
not driving, so I don't care. Yeah, I've been that several times. It's a weird position when somebody trusts you with responsibility.
Yeah,
because I don't trust me with responsibility.
Shh, don't tell them.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Speaking of responsibility, here comes your segment.
Yeah, man.
This one's called Tez Talk.
Oh, well, we're back, and look.
This one does, in fact, feature...
Look at these dead-ass birds. Ah, there it is. As longtime fans of this segment here that I do every so often, not always, we know that in the beginning, it was straight climbing. I didn't do anything else.
Still mostly climbing.
Yeah. And I saw a video and an article that came out of Vox about polar bears.
It was an adorable bunch of videos.
It was great video, right? All right, and as we know, like, so straight from the story, global warming obviously is famously bad for polar bears. Like, it's one of the things we hold up to show, like, hey, bears that need to be in cold don't have cold anymore. The ice is shrinking. Not looking good for them. And right to that reason, sea ice provides a platform which these predators are able to hunt seals, right?
They hang out on the ice, they wait for the seals to pop up, they nab the seal, and they eat them.
And seal is, if you think about a polar bear, seal is probably the only thing that really makes sense for them to eat.
That's all they...
Fatty.
Yeah, it's good for them.
It's really good for them. Primary food source. And we know that climate change is dramatically shrinking the number of weeks each year that the Arctic Ocean can be covered in ice.
Yeah.
And polar bears are spending more time on land, as we probably have seen them in different videos.
And in the wrong part of the land.
Yeah. And that's kind of where calorie-dense food as a seal would be, is far less accessible, right? They can't get to that. And scientists went ahead and strapped recording devices to 20 polar bears in Canada, in the Hudson Bay specifically, and this is kind of where the ice-free period has increased roughly by 3 weeks since 1979.
That's
right?
a lot.
That's huge.
That's
right?
like a whole month of
3
no
weeks
ice.
Of no ice, right? And again, as we just aforementioned, the polar
Imagine
bears,
you didn't eat for 3 weeks.
they need these ice platforms to kind of go ahead and get the seals. And the cameras recorded a stunning 115 hours of footage over 3 recent years, and it's just a rare window, as they say in the article, to the land-bound lives of these animals.
And it's not natural for them. It's very clearly not their preferred way of living.
Right. So if you go and find this video here, like they mark off certain areas. They show kind of the bears. They're feeding on bird carcasses.
Yep. Those dead-ass birds.
Right?
They're eating the dead-ass birds.
Right? They're eating berries and grasses.
That's bear stuff, though.
It is.
Okay,
but
so like
this bear is
it's not what they're supposed to be doing at that time of the year.
Exactly.
So one of the things that we've learned because of climate change is that the interaction between polar bears and grizzly bears has increased, and it turns out that they can mate.
Yeah.
And so polar bears are substantially larger, like 50% larger than the grizzlies.
Bear.
But it seems like they're able to, so they might not be that different as species. They're just, coloration difference. But like bears need to eat seals for 2 reasons. One, seals are full of nutrition.
Yes.
They're fatty. They're full of, muscle tissue and all that. Also, bears need nice scarves. And that's what they make them out of. So they clobber the seal, they eat it, scarf. It's true. But the other problem is that the bears they're interacting with people in ways that they really haven't been. Because they don't have the ice, they don't have a place to hunt, they're in these places, and instead of being able to move further north, which they can't because they can't cross the water those distances, they're starting to move south, and they're starting to come into contact with people. And it is very, very dangerous when a 1,500-pound bear is like, I want what you've got. And you have there's no wall you've ever built that has been like, no bear. The bear's like, wall. Out of my way. Give me your berries.
Yeah. And I think, as the scientists kind of mentioned in this story as well, too, how life adapts on this planet, I think is and like it's not good.
No,
it's not good at all, because they're not going to be able. It's not sustainable at all. In one of these things here, they said that all but one of the 20 bears lost weight, suggesting that they would eventually go hungry. One individual lost nearly 80 pounds,
which is a lot.
It's a lot off a bear,
and it's not. Some bears hibernate.
Yeah.
And this is not their time to be doing that. That's when they lose a lot of weight, is while they're hibernating. It's not that time. That's not how this is supposed to work. Polar bears are supposed to be eating the seals in winter. That's what they do.
I think also, too, this article didn't go deep into it, but I'm pretty sure there has to be. Like, these are ecosystems where bears eat seals. That's preventing something else.
Yeah, overpopulation of seals.
And again, I don't know, the science of what the outcome of that, but that's what I think we always need to be whether we bee colonies, all these things.
From an ecological perspective, the thing to do is often to pay attention to the apex predator in a food web.
Yeah.
When the apex predator is in trouble, that is the signal that the rest of the web is disrupted beyond repair.
Right.
Because that predator depends on everything else feeding up to it.
Yeah.
And if that's not working, that's a problem.
And wait till it's humans.
Well, wait till we are the apex predator.
Yeah, but wait till it's on a mass scale.
Yeah, wait till our web.
Migration. We talk about all of that stuff is going to tenfold increase, because when similar to these bears, and I think we see this right now with migration. When people can't get what they need,
they do desperate things.
When animals can't get what they need, they're going to do desperate things, whether it's the Darien Gap, whether it's crossing oceans.
It's literally the same thing. These bears are taking risky swims in places that they wouldn't normally do it, which is very similar to, say, crossing the Darien Gap or piling on a boat across the Mediterranean or anything else. It is very similar. I don't know why people don't see those things as the same. They seem to me like acts of desperation because of terrible circumstances. But in the bear's case, the bear doesn't know any better and has no recourse for it. In humanity's case, all of human suffering is human caused.
We know.
Almost all of it.
Known for a long time.
The occasional rogue tsunami, okay, fine. But the rest of it, it's all solvable.
it is all solvable if people want to.
Yeah.
Bears don't have elections
At all.
but maybe they should vote. Maybe they should try voting.
Try voting.
Yeah. Who's going to stop them? They're in Canada. I hear everybody can vote in Canada. They got pink money. Speaking of various animals.
You know who would be the leading candidate?
Go ahead.
Barry Goldwater.
Oh, that's a bell. Barry Goldwater.
You know
It
who
was
they
at
would've
this
protected?
moment he knew. He fucked up.
You know who they would have protected?
Who?
They wouldn't have let them go down. Bear Stearns. Wouldn't
All right.
collapse.
Just bear with him for a minute here.
All right, I'm done.
Bear with him for a minute.
Oh, I didn't even get it the first time.
Took him a second.
It took me a second.
He's clawing at it. All right, speaking of animal radio.
We're already there.
Yep. This is one of the wildest stories I think I've ever read.
Capital W.
Yeah, humans aren't the only creatures that suffer from substance abuse problem.
Oh, is this a drunk animal story? I didn't read this far.
Kinda. We know that horses eat hallucinogenic weeds.
Yep.
Elephants get drunk on overripe fruit. Bighorn sheep love narcotic lichen. Monkeys like sugar-rich and ethanol-containing fruit, which might be
Fermented.
where we humans,
Right, it might
share
become-
that
yes.
that thing that makes us love Foster's monkey for beer. Right? But dolphins. Now
This is
dolphins,
like sex.
well, you know that.
Yeah.
All these other stories are about things where, they're land-based, they've got fruit, they've got sugar, things can ferment. Well, if you're a dolphin,
Not much going on.
there ain't no sugar out there in the
Under the
ocean.
sea.
Just salt.
Yeah.
But you want to get high.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't want to get high?
Vices.
Here's what happened. The dolphins were filmed gently playing with a pufferfish, passing it between each other for 20 to 30 minutes at a time. And unlike the fish that they caught as prey, which were swiftly torn apart, they just kind of chewed on it for a little while. They were literally puff, passing the puffer
You beat me
fish.
to it. That's crazy.
And here's what happens. The dolphins will find a puffer fish. They'll chew on it enough. The puffer fish are a little bit toxic. They're super toxic if you bite
right.
hard.
Yeah.
But they'll bite on it just enough. They'll get a little high. They'll pass it on to their friend. And then they were observed literally hanging out at the surface of the water, laughing at their own reflections
Hey,
for
I love
hours at a time.
That's great.
Congratulations.
Yo,
Way
the
to go.
Dolphins, the Dolphins. They get a bell.
Next governor of Oregon, Dolphin.
Yeah.
I can't wait till Republicans ban pufferfish.
It's coming soon.
Yeah,
What is it?
the DEA is
yeah.
coming after the pufferfish.
What is it? The Class 1? How do they...
Schedule 1, yeah.
Schedule
They're
one,
going to
too,
Schedule
yeah.
1 the pufferfish.
Schedule 1 on the pufferfish.
Speaking of fish, this is the Prius of fish.
Ah,
Now, what-
hybrid.
Yeah, that's right. Get your bell for that one. That's good. All right, here's what's going on. This is like a up to the minute story. So
Yeah.
this could change as of tomorrow. We don't know.
Tomorrow's close.
It's close.
Sorry, Brian.
Have you heard of North Carolina?
Yes.
There's two of them.
Yeah.
This is the North one.
Yeah. I remember this one.
There's an aquarium there in Hendersonville.
Hendersonville does not sound like a place I would go.
I don't know. It sounds coastal. Anyway, they've got an aquarium there, and they have in North Carolina a stingray named Charlotte.
Oh,
Naturally,
of course.
yeah, she plays for the Hornets. And anyway, so she's in this tank, and she has never, ever encountered a male stingray
Okay.
because they've had her since she hatched.
So she's never got stung.
Nope. Never received the, what was it? Dick's Sporting Goods. So the Dolezal. So she is,
Or the Irwin.
or No. Back to the science story. Okay, so the
Say it in Australian.
Crocky. I'll never forgive that stingray. I was stung that one time.
Rest in peace. He was dope.
All the other animals definitely high-five that stingray, by the way. Right. I think we told that story on the show several times before, but all right, we'll get to that.
Next time.
Okay, so the stingray, she's never met another stingray. Well, another male stingray.
Right.
And so they were like, yo, she's a little swollen.
Oh, God.
So they ultrasound her, and they're like, hey, the stingray is definitely pregnant.
Oh, God.
And they're like, what the fucking Mary Joseph is going on here?
In North Carolina?
In North Carolina.
Uh-oh.
Right? Could have been that one of them senators praying too hard or Appalachian Trail or God knows what, right? So they're like, well, it could be parthenogenesis, which is when, animals, I'm not sure if it can happen in people. We don't know any evidence of that, but basically self-fertilize.
Right.
Or they said they noticed some bite marks on her, so they took out all the other fish in the tank. They had noticed that before she was pregnant.
Right.
They had recently introduced a couple of male bamboo sharks.
Oh, no.
Now, if you know anything about fish, of which sharks and rays are not,
right,
you know that they are both tiburons. A tiburon is a kind of a thing that is like a fish. It has fins, but it doesn't have bones. It has cartilage, and it doesn't have scales. It has denticles, which are like little teeth.
Great video game developer that made Madden.
Yeah. And that Hyundai car, the tiburon.
Yeah.
Okay. Also in Spanish, the word for shark, tiburón.
Yeah.
Okay. So they were like, those bite marks, they look a little suspicious. And when sharks mate, the way that it works is the male bites the female, grabs on, and does the deed. And sharks and rays both have live babies, some species of them, not all of them. And they don't mate through spawning. So what could have happened here?
Sounds like a shark. There. Don't need to say anything.
So it is possible that the shark and the ray got busy. Now, the social media managers of this aquarium did a really good job of promoting this story because everybody started talking about, oh, are they virgin births, stingrays, or are they...
The new religion was about to be born.
Yeah, or are they hybrid stingrays? And then everybody got all hyped to that. And then all the experts started weighing in. I've seen rays and sharks mate hundreds of times, and I know it's possible. They're so far apart genetically, it's not even physically possible. There's not the right pieces to match up. Like, this is hotly contested. But eventually, the pups will be born, and they will be DNA sequenced, and we will find out. So tune in next week for the answer to the burning question of, can we have hybrid stingray shark babies?
I was going to say I'm surprised they didn't just take the stingray to Planned Parenthood, but it's North Carolina.
So I want to know, will Maury come out of retirement to make the announcement as to who is the father in this case?
No.
Why not? What else is he doing?
Retired.
Right.
Chilling with Connie.
Yeah.
He's not coming out for stingray.
I don't know. Speaking of stingrays, this segment.
What? Okay.
It's go ahead.
What?
You can.
Do I want to read this?
Yeah, you want to read this.
So this segment today is called Guidelines and Pussy Ass Bitches.
That's true.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
That is the segment
That is
To anyone who hears that.
I don't write this stuff.
Maybe my employer.
I don't write this stuff. Tez does.
No.
All right, the first part is literally a public service announcement. The CDC is changing the guidelines on COVID. So basically, they were on 5-day isolation once you test positive, and regardless of your symptoms, that is now no longer the case. They're saying if you are fever-free for 24 hours, you can go back out in public. You're good to go. This is based on that they say that the majority of the population has some immunity, either through vaccination or through having contracted it, or both.
Yeah.
In my case.
Anyways, I was going to say something.
Who hasn't at this point?
Yeah, but you know.
Darwin. Hooray. Okay. On to the pussy-ass bitches.
Yes.
This one comes to us from the great state of Florida.
Or not.
No, it is from Florida.
All right, just checking. Gotta check.
Okaloosa County, actually. So here's what happened. There was a domestic disturbance, and the cops showed up. And the fella in question was known to carry a gun. And his girlfriend is like, hey, he's, yelling at me or whatever. And they're like, all right, lady, here's what we're going to do. So they grabbed him, and they cuffed him, and they put him in the car, which is a Ford Explorer. Put him in the cruiser.
All right.
Right? And one of the partners stayed with the victim to get a statement from her.
Normal shit.
With their kids around and all that kind of stuff. Normal stuff. And the other one, Jesse Hernandez, Officer Jesse Hernandez, his job was to, keep an eye on this guy cuffed in the car and, just watch the perimeter. Because they're cops and they're jumpy and, this thing that seems like it's obviously handled. Shots fired, and unloads a mag and a half into the car where the cuffed man is sitting while he's walking away. And he's yelling into his radio, shots fired, and at one point he even yells, I'm hit. And he's rolling around on the ground, and he shoots a bunch of times, and then he drops the clip out of his gun, and he, leaves it open, and he sort of like kicks it away from him so that it's like can't be fired, and he's like clearly freaking out. Now there's body cam footage of all of that, right? And then there's body cam footage from his partner going, Jesse, what's wrong? Where were the shots? What happened? Are you okay? Turns out what happened was an acorn fell on the car, and Officer Jumpy Pants heard the acorn hit the car, somehow believed he got shot, and unloaded 15 rounds into his own cruiser, where an unarmed man was sitting handcuffed in the back in front of said man's children and girlfriend. Now, when the investigation started, Jesse Hernandez immediately resigned because he knew he was double fucked.
Yeah,
but
it's over.
It
doesn't change what happened.
It doesn't change what happened, right? So the kids are traumatized. The people are traumatized. The adults are traumatized. His partner's probably traumatized, thinking like, oh my God, I was working with this fucking idiot.
The deputies patted him down.
Yeah. So they knew he was unarmed. This dude thought that the perp who was cuffed and unarmed was shooting at him from inside his own car and convinced himself that he got hit.
That's a lot, man. Like, I don't like it's hard to, but it just goes into like who we recruit for that job that is literally life or death isn't the individuals we need to be recruiting. Like, obviously, this like, I'd take someone from McDonald's doing this job before this person. They'd have better decision quality making.
Yeah. Decision quality making?
I guess. Yeah, that's a bad one.
Yeah. It's like a two-system party.
Or decision quality. Yeah, no, not as bad. They're not as bad as what's the name? Is
two-system party. This is a great episode.
I know. The slur is brought out.
I love that he convinced himself that he got shot.
That's
despite
insane.
the fact that he hadn't been shot.
That's insane.
Like, so his partner is like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And he goes, "I feel weird, but I think I'm okay."
Put him
She's
under
like,
the
"Are
jail.
you hit?"
No, that should be
Under the jail.
Should
Yes.
be sworn testimony. It's like, what do you mean? Like, you wanted to shoot someone this day? It seems like to me.
It seemed like he wanted to unload his weapon into the back of his own car when he had a guy cuffed in there. I don't know. Speaking of pussy ass bitches, House Republicans, they did finally manage to impeach Mayorkas.
Single vote.
Yep. It was Steve Scalise. You know what? Where he was?
Where?
He was in the hospital.
Oh, he was. Yeah.
Receiving stem cell treatment that he voted against.
Yeah. Because
but
how can he keep voting against it if he's sick and he passes away? He has to be around to vote against it.
That's true. Not around the bases though. So
He had
anyway,
a good shot.
Yeah. Oh man, he dug that one out.
Ow.
So, House Republicans voted to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas for, and everybody asked them, like,
high crimes and misdemeanors, right?
Well,
No.
they couldn't identify any of those. When they were asked about this, they said that this was a PR vote. They said those words, PR vote, and they.
That's so dumb.
And this all follows on the heels of what happened with the Ukraine funding and border stuff that has literally flipped back and forth twice, right? So Democrats were like, or Joe Biden was like, "Yo, give me some money for Ukraine," and Congress was like, "Not without border funding." And so then Jim Lankford and Chris Murphy work out a deal in the Senate. They go, "All right, here's your border stuff, and then here's your Ukraine funding." And Trump goes, "Don't vote for that. Vote it down."
We're trying to win elections.
So they vote it down, and it fails. And so then the House is like, "Here's a clean Ukraine funding bill." And so they vote on that, and it passes. And then the Senate was like, "All right, cool. We're going to vote on a clean Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan bill." And they do that, and they send it to the House. And House is like, "We want border stuff on this bill, you idiots."
Oh, you don't say.
And you're like, "Oh my fucking God, what guys?"
They should get trounced in friggin' November. They should.
They're just giving it away. And in the meantime, while they're complaining that the Department of Homeland Security is failing at their job on the border, they're voting against empowering the executive branch to enforce the things that they want to have happen at the border. If anybody you know says anything approaching Republicans want to secure the border, you tell them straight in their face,
false.
That's false, and they are unserious about this. They don't want this. They had the option to secure the border. They voted it down. They had the option to use the apparatus in place, and they impeached the guy who was doing it. They're lying to you. What they want is a racist dog whistle to point at and try to rally their white supremacist Klan voters. And if you vote with them, you're one of them.
You know why? They're lying. That's why.
Because the rent is too damn high. Here's the coda on all of this. Guess who two of the impeachment managers are going to be when this goes to the Senate?
The real Maggie's MVP? What's her name?
MTG.
MTG.
That's
Maggie's
correct.
real
She's
MVP.
going to be one. And Clay Higgins, who looks like Colonel Sanders. I'm not making that up. Yeah, I'd love to see Marge try her best at lawyering. She's good at the indictment.
Oh.
No, that's just the way she pronounces indictment.
This dick!
That's Bober. All right, you hear the music, which means we've come to the end of the show. We want to say thanks to Drew Dave for coming out.
Yes.
Sorry for all that we have wrought on the world after you created this show.
Yeah.
This is your fault.
Sorry.
Every second of it. Thanks to NOTN for existing. Thanks to our radio partners, the Kansas City Chiefs Network. And thanks to our home on the interwebs, coplaymedia.com. And thanks, as always, to our family here at Beltway Radio for making it sound as smooth as Usher's roller skates. All right, where can everybody get you on the socials?
You can find me at Instagram at Ketchum Cordy. You can find me on that hellscape that is X.
Twitter.
At DC Cortez. And you can find me being a flaming liberal on Blue Sky at DC Cortez.
All right, you can find me and the show on the Twitter at ChipChatR. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram at RipChipChat. And you can, of course, find us every Thursday night at 9:30 here on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Friday morning.
Or, yeah, living up to our best life on Fridays. I'm Chip. That says that was Drew Dave. And that's Bryan. You've been listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Street balls.
Street balls.